Welcome to the Rose, an elegant, refined bar behind which you will find fine dining experiences available to you at an extra cost while aboard a Disney cruise. Here, sophistication and luxury meet in perfect harmony amidst the subtle theming of Beauty and the Beast. The Rose is a stunning lounge that is only available to those over the age of 18. You'll find themed drinks with even some hot tea. It's Disney magic in adult form, and I honestly love the calming ambiance of this entire area. Oh, okay, now that I found my dates, let's go inside Enchanté and see what this is all about. Enchanté is an exclusive, fine dining experience on the Disney Cruise Line, available by reservation only and for an additional cost. It's designed by the legendary Chef Arnaud Lalame, I may have said that wrong, a 3-star chef. This restaurant blends exquisite French cuisine with enchantment that you would expect from Disney. The decor here felt as though we were stepping into an elegant, sophisticated space of modern luxury meeting classic charm. From the shimmering chandelier to the full-walled windows, every detail of Enchanté was truly lovely. The food here is served in a multi-course tasting menu, so it features fresh ingredients and expertly crafted dishes. Each plate really was a work of art. We had it paired with fine wines from a curated selection, and the meal here felt like more than just dining. It was a full experience. We have never before engaged in an upscale fine dining experience like this one. And while I consider myself a foodie of the gluten-free variety, I am not sure I have a palate that can adequately pick out small intricacies and the subtle blending of flavors I would expect from a restaurant like this one. However, this was an incredibly special cruise, and we were sharing it with some very special friends. And as such, we very much wanted a potentially once-in-a-lifetime experience. So allow me to take you on a non-fancy person's journey into the most expensive meal we have ever paid for. You can opt to start with a glass of champagne a la carte. They will bring out the entire champagne cart and will review in as much detail as you need the different selections and prices. We selected something in the I work in the public sector range, recommended to us by our friend who knows much more about bubbles than we will ever hope to know. And you know what? It was delightful. Now for the menu. If you've never done a tasting menu before, it's multiple courses of small bites of delicately and intentionally prepared food. You can choose to add a wine or champagne pairing. The menu comes with options for a 5 or 7 course meal, or you can choose or add a la carte options. As you can tell here, the menus come with a larger price tag than your average restaurant, so you do need to weigh that in when making the decision to dine. We chose the collection, which was a 7-course meal with 2 additional courses that apparently don't count. It was a lot of food. Here's one of the first courses that didn't count. That's what he said. I do like beef tartare. I do. And it's just a little bit different than everybody's, and we're trying to figure out what on this menu do we want, because it is not a normal menu. And we are not fancy people, but we're about to be. We're about to be real fancy. I'm being super covert right now. No one knows that I have a camera. Just kidding. So we've got the bread course now, and it's I think it's 80s, which is fine. But look at this. You can put salt on it, and it's like the most miniature version of a spoon. It's the cutest thing.
Like doing that last time.
You put a little
Right.
mini salt bread. I like it. Normally, I thought not that I wouldn't record in this, but the menu that we got is the collection, and it actually doesn't have any of the things listed. So the only way I'm going to remember to tell you what to remember is if I tell you right now what we're eating. So the first thing that we're eating is an amuse-bouche. It has a daikon radish wrapping stuffed with different vegetables and then other fresh things around it. And I'm going to describe it to you as a layperson because I don't get fancy like this, so I don't remember all of the other things. But this is what it is. Okay, Gina explanation. The first part's a scallop two ways. One has a scallion and cream type of broth in it, and the other one is a little, the business underneath is like dried prawns and dried scallops and something from the Hong Kong region. And I am not doing this any justice, but it is phenomenally delicious. I could eat a whole bunch more than that. We got a bunch of courses to go, so we'll see what the rest brings. Here we have a dish with some type of cream, other things I can't remember, and a very, very expensive caviar, apparently. It was my first time having caviar. I cannot do this justice, so I brought in a friend to tell you a little bit more.
Because of their culture, that's something that she needs to know.
Champagne paired with the Petrusian caviar, the most luxurious caviar of all time. And paired with this is 10 different vintages, a very, very heavy Chardonnay grape, fruit, which is very toasty, almond, fun, and tight bubbles.
Tight bubbles. After the lobster course, we had another fish dish with a sauce that, get this, it's a yellow-white sauce that oxidizes in barrels for 7 years. Restaurants need to pre-order the ingredients for this or this sauce 5 to 6 years in advance. Y'all, this is some wild stuff that I don't think I've ever eaten before, and it was really delicious. I want to take a moment to discuss all of the seafood that you're seeing on these plates. While gluten is my mortal enemy, my partner has not made friends with food that used to swim, so he had a different tailored menu consisting of many vegetarian items as well as chicken and pork. We were invited to call the restaurant 24 hours in advance to discuss any of our dietary limitations, so they were aware when we entered what we could and could not eat. That being said, this Wagyu course was one that I did get to eat, and it was amazing. All the cheese. We were advised that the cheese course is another one that does not count as one of the 7, and this was likely our favorite part. If you're wondering what cheese you will get, the answer is all of them. No, really, they will make you small tasting cheese plates for you, putting half on yours and half on your partner's. The cheeses ranged from ooey gooey to hard. They walk you through where the different cheeses come from and the properties of them. It's honestly way too much to remember, but all extremely fascinating. This was an incredible course, and I would return for only this if I were allowed. I mean, look at this. It looks like she's scraping cheese from a bowl, but the bowl is the cheese that she is scraping the cheese from. It's just mind-blowing. They will also happily tailor your cheese plate to your preference. So for example, one member of our party does not like the stinky cheese and only wants the creamy cheese, so that's what he got. I, on the other hand, wanted to get some olives so I could stuff them all with the best cheese here for my martini. Apparently you can't do that at the table, but there's some ideas for later because now I have new cheeses to add to my repertoire. Our date sometime in 2025. We just finished a cheese course of like I don't know, there were 12 different cheeses maybe, ranging from not as offensive to very offensive. I personally like the very offensive cheeses, so that was really good. The only thing we were missing was some olives and vodka to hang out with it, but everything was accompanied with something that made it even better. So for instance, if we did a blue cheese or a Roquefort and it had honeycomb with it, or then they had the triple cream cheeses, and some were so triple creamy that it was just sort of like this liquidy blob on the plate. But splitting it between two people, you actually got to try all of them, and they were very cool. The only thing that can make it a little odd for me is that I just wanted to like remember all of this stuff, and I can't remember all of it. There's so much information and so many cheeses that I just can't possibly keep them all in my mind, although I'm trying very hard. My stomach is very full. I did not think that would happen either. We've been here for quite a while, and we still have dessert to go. So hopefully the kids are holding out in Kids Club. We haven't gotten a call yet that anybody has figured anything else. So we're just going to roll with it and roll out of here. But this is really pretty cool. And to share it with two friends, it's even more special. Okay, if you're taking note of what's happening here, we are being served the first course of dessert. For a while, we honestly thought that this was the only dessert course until the next course came, and then we realized that there were multiple dessert courses. The contents of this entire box was laid on our table, and our eyes just simply could not believe it. It was a smorgasbord of different treats, and each one of them was so very unique. As you can see, she graciously put them all in front of me. I like to think that's because she liked me the best, but it's probably because of proximity. Anyhow, there were about 2 of these that I could eat. The rest of them did contain gluten in some form. What most definitely did not contain gluten was this dessert of mine. It was a compilation of flowers and herbs and dried fruit and some type of sauce, and then another sorbet, I believe, that looks like an egg, but it wasn't an egg. Anyhow, there was a lot going on here, different flavors of mango, apricot, all the things. It was so interesting. Final impressions of Enchanté.
So loved Enchanté. I feel like we got the collection. We went big. Well, it was crazy. I would probably go back and do one of the lesser pairings. 2 less courses would fit me probably better.
Just right. It was
I'm
a lot.
like up to here with food, and towards
the
end, I just could barely take bites. But everything was so rich, so full. And I feel like the last 2, the Wagyu beef, amazing. The caviar dish was ridiculous.
Yeah.
In a great way.
Yeah.
And then I think the Amuse-bouche at the very beginning, that was very light,
so good.
bright,
Like the pickle.
fluffy, the radish crunch,
Right.
and just the lime refreshing gelée, delicious. So don't regret it.
Wow.
We'll go lighter next go round.
Okay.
No regrets.
I have a less refined palate than she does, and I do not have an elegant way to describe it. So I learned how to say amuse-bouche this evening. It was wonderful. This was like an experience that I don't know that I ever necessarily had on a list, but when the opportunity came up, we thought, why not? Let's just go ahead and do this. So that was really cool. But it was just neat to learn about all the different things. I probably won't remember half of it, but it's okay because as you can see, my friend sitting next to me will remember all of it, and I will just call her and ask her all of the things that I did not remember. But it was great. And I'm telling you all of this before we get the bill. That may change. But you know what? I guess you can ask me about that in the comments of what I thought the experience was worth. But for now, we got a couple hours in silence, away from the kids, with just wine pairings and I don't know, Enchanté. I'm in all the way.
3.5 right now.
Loved it. Cheers, y'all.